Good afternoon and welcome to New Orleans. And also welcome to an incredible new day. I'm Don Pearson. I lead economic development efforts for our state on behalf of Governor John Bel Edwards. More than a year ago, we were introduced to a company providing digital transformation services and growing rapidly. I'm going to take a time out. If you know what digital transformation services are, raise your hand. I was anticipating that a bit. So I'm going to take a little time out, Governor, and just say, kind of catch people up with how amazing what we're looking at here is today. So maybe you know a little bit about, hey, we're going to take our office paperless. That might be a law firm, it might be an accounting agency, might be a health clinic. But digital goes way beyond that. New technologies, license plate readers, facial recognition, 100 things that are focusing in, new tools, and all kinds of ways that you have new, accessible, and viable data, particularly made possible by cloud computing. And then you have to integrate all this data, and you've got to protect it. Cybersecurity, right? Data breach, you know that one. So you take all those elements and more and more. This technology is moving more rapidly than ever before, the age of acceleration. And then you roll that across every industry that you can think of. Manufacturing, service providers, financial services, insurance, every consumer product imaginable. You begin to get the full picture. The technology around digital transformation will change the way things are accomplished and made in ways that we cannot even imagine today. That change is not an option. Companies have to have it in order to remain competitive and viable in a global economy. With that in mind, you begin to see how important it is for Louisiana to stand at the center of this next brave new digital world. With this company, we not only participate building these tools, we lead the way with digital transformations for companies across America and across the globe. So that's what one is, catch you up on that. Now back to the story and the real reason that we've gathered here today. This fast-growing company approached us. They had a very clear vision of what it would take to successfully expand. What they didn't have was the right location to do that. They needed a place that could not only perform, but also meet a very demanding timeline. They're in a hurry. They need a place that could support a very complex expansion, a place that would allow them to achieve success with cloud computing, enterprise cloud applications, data analytics, and cybersecurity. Project manager Paige Carter and consultant Dave Snyder led a comprehensive search that considered Baton Rouge, North Shore, other areas of our state. The company looked across the nation, and with the help of G&O and the New Orleans Business Alliance, they found that New Orleans, Louisiana is that perfect place. Today's software service providers are a special business class. They build the tools needed to harness data, often importantly real-time data, which is the key to so many advances in today's global business environment. These companies all compete on the threshold of the age of acceleration. Digital data is dominating every aspect of the business and industry landscape, whether it's providing services, connecting service providers, or supporting the more modern factories of the future, supporting logistics with track and trace. The world now requires a multitude of new on-demand data production outcomes. New software products must provide efficiencies and cost savings to end users. Business and industry knows this. The demand curve is great. The very fundamentals of successful investment are driven by the optimization of resources, smart linkage of different systems, clever integration of human resources, and now artificial intelligence systems. Complex, right? Very much so. Where's the perfect place to conduct that complex operation and expansion? Right here in New Orleans, Louisiana. If your mission is to produce digital software across a wide spectrum of applications, you will be successful in New Orleans and you will be successful in Louisiana. This is where the leadership of this company is focused. This is how they are successfully growing their business. The leadership sees beyond today. They know we will build an extraordinary information technology tool set here. Our proven track record, our business-friendly environment, and our nation-leading educational partnership provide the foundation for this company's confidence in New Orleans, Louisiana. To secure this project, the governor gave me very clear direction. Our investment in Louisiana's future would be best secured with an investment in our next generation. The people that you see here gathered with me on this stage, Dr. King Alexander, Dr. Jim Henderson, and Dr. Monty Sullivan, understood that point. And they came when we called many times and had these face-to-face meetings with the company's management team and the next group of people that they sent in to analyze and inspect what was available in Louisiana. Also, our award-winning Fast Start program serves as a foundational element of what Louisiana will bring to the table to provide to this company, which is an eminently qualified workforce. Today, this company is making a commitment based on the confidence we have established over the past year and a half in a global and national competition. Today, we begin an amazing journey with this company. Today is truly a great day for New Orleans and all of Louisiana, and a great day for DXC Technology. Here to introduce you to DXC Technology, to welcome the leadership of DXC's Technology's Digital Transformation Center, I told you what that was, is our governor, Governor John Bell Edwards.
Thank you. Thank all of you for being here today. There is no place to celebrate quite like the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in the city of New Orleans. You know, it seems like it was only yesterday, but it's been, what, 7 or 8 years since the Saints won the Super Bowl. But I will tell you what, it was yesterday the Saints put a whipping on somebody up in Buffalo, New York with 47 points. Look, Saints fans know, we all know, that hard-fought victories don't come easily. They're created through a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, conditioning. They're also earned through discipline, but most importantly, through teamwork. And there is no victory that tastes better, that satisfies more than a victory that's earned and a victory that's shared. And we're here today to celebrate a victory. This is a historic occasion for New Orleans, and I want to thank all of you for coming out and taking part in this celebration. Mayor Landry is going to address you shortly, and he's going to remind us all of the great efforts that are being put forth by the 2,000 New Orleans, Louisiana Commission to commemorate the 300th anniversary of this great city. And what a better way to get that started than with today's announcement. New Orleans is transforming its international airport with a $1 billion expansion. Just blocks away from this very spot, we have a multi-billion-dollar expansion in the medical corridor here in New Orleans. Less than 2 weeks ago, I was here in New Orleans East at the Michoud Assembly Facility as it gears up NASA's mission to return to manned spaceflight to the moon and to Mars. But that work is being done right here in New Orleans. Truly, this is a city where wondrous miracles unfold every single day. And the greatest miracles are the minds of our young people as they explore, investigate, search, and identify great meaning in our lives each day here in Louisiana and on our college campuses. Today's announcement is really about them. And it's about the power of teamwork. As Don told you, it's been almost 2 years that they've been working on this project. And he's been coaching our economic development team and cultivating one of the greatest projects in our state's history. And Don, I want to thank you and the team at Economic Development for your hard work on this. Today's announcement is about how that team came together, encompassing not just economic development for the state of Louisiana, but Mayor Landrieu, the City of New Orleans, GNO Inc., the New Orleans Business Alliance, LED, as I mentioned. But our systems of higher education were critical to this. But that team came together, fought hard for a historic victory for the City of New Orleans and for the state of Louisiana. And so I am proud to announce that beginning in January of 2018, and that's just right around the corner, DXC Technology will establish a digital transformation center, and we all know what that is now. Thank you very much, Don. Right here in the central business district of New Orleans, and create 2,000 high-paying jobs in the global IT and business enterprise sector by 2025. Now that's 2,000 jobs in the central business district of New Orleans. These are permanent, direct jobs right here. That's why it's so exciting. And DXC Technology may not yet be a household name to you, but this is a $25 billion company with a 60-year history in computer science, technology service, and business consulting, with thousands of clients all around the globe, both public and private. And the reason the name may be new is because it just arrived on the scene in April of 2017. The negotiations for this announcement today actually started before DXC came into existence. That's how hard we've been working on this. DXC formally came into existence as a result of a merger of two business powerhouses, that's CSC and the Enterprise Services Division of Hewlett-Packard. And even before they were final, they were here talking to us about this project. And about 9 months ago, I had an opportunity to come down to New Orleans and meet with them. Their biggest question was about the commitment to the state of Louisiana for a talent pipeline that would give them the confidence of knowing that this investment was one that was worthy, that would work. They needed to know we were committed to our higher education systems, community technical colleges, and our four-year universities, so that they would have employees who knew what they needed to know and could do what they needed them to do. I assured them that we were committed to higher education, and that certainly played out over the course of last session, when we came out better than we have in a decade in funding higher education and also in fully funding the TOPS program. That's why we're here today, because that talent pipeline is in place. And so we're very pleased that DXC is here. And by the way, There were multiple states under consideration. The state of Louisiana won over a lot of wonderful places in the country, but they are here and we're thrilled of it. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how big this is. LED, I just told you about 2,000 direct jobs. LED estimates that another 2,257 indirect jobs are going to be created from this project for a total of more than 4,250 jobs in this region. The 2,000 direct jobs are going to pay an average salary of $63,000 plus benefits. And when you look at the entire economic impact of this project, the LSU Economics and Policy Research Group estimates that from 2018 to 2025, this project will generate more than $64 million in Louisiana taxes, over $868 million in new household earnings, and total economic output during those years of more than $3.2 billion. And I told you what excites me the most is the role that our young people are going to play. The state of Louisiana is going to invest $25 million in higher education grants directed through the LSU system, the University of Louisiana system, and the Louisiana Community Technical College system. That's that talent pipeline I was talking about. These lead campuses providing greater faculty, staff, equipment, and other instructional resources aligned with DXC technology careers will be LSU, University of New Orleans, Southeastern Louisiana University, and Delgado Community College. And we're going to have job fairs at all of our universities and all of our community and technical colleges. This will be a victory that we're going to celebrate for a long time to come. And we're going to look back at New Orleans' tricentennial year as a true turning point for the city and an era of new greatness for the state of Louisiana. Already today, our state ranks among the top 5 states for doing business according to Area Development Magazine. We fielded the #1 state workforce program in the United States for 8 straight years according to Business Facilities Magazine. Recently, Thumbtack.com surveyed small business owners across the country, and Louisiana earned the 4th highest score among all the states with a grade of A+ for outstanding support of small businesses. And we're working hard every single day to support our small businesses because we know that they represent over 90% of our employers and they create most of our new jobs, and they are vital. Small business is vital in supporting major new employers like DXC Technology. Since I took office in January of 2016, we've seen Louisiana's construction sector grow by over 19,000 jobs, or a 14% increase in less than 2 years. And Louisiana's unemployment rate is the lowest it's been since August of 2008. These are just some of the reasons that I firmly believe that Louisiana's greatest days lie ahead. And DXC's technology, their strong presence right here in the Central Business District of New Orleans, represents a bold, powerful new step in that direction. And to learn even more about DXC technology and what this impressive company will bring to New Orleans and to Louisiana, it is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest from DXC Technology, Executive Vice President Stephen Hilton.
Okay, hi everybody. It's my absolute pleasure to be here today, and on behalf of Mike Laurie, our CEO, President, and Chairman, as well as our 155,000 employees worldwide, I thank the state of Louisiana for embracing us and giving us the opportunity to invest and grow in our Digital Transformation Center. There are 3 very simple reasons why we're here today, and I'll take you through them. People, people, people. They're the 3 reasons why we're here. The first group represent your local, state, and business development organizations, from the governor, the mayor, across the board, who have worked tirelessly in listening to our requirements, being flexible, embracing us, and giving us a true sense of confidence that we'll have all the support we need to be successful. The second group are the people who represent your higher educational institutions. They have also embraced us and shown a level of vision that we rarely see in other areas. They've worked together with us to create curriculums and schools that will feed the talent, give the skills that we need to find in our employees to come into our digital centers. And the third group of people are the residents of New Orleans, the people, the IT professionals who we expect to become DXC employees and we hope will be extremely successful with us. We are a hard-working company. IT services is a highly competitive industry. We work hard. We see that same trait in many of the young people who we interview and speak to in New Orleans. A little bit of background about why a digital transformation is so important for us. The world of IT services, software, hardware, consulting, cyber, is changing rapidly. I would argue in the past 15 to 20 years, we've seen IT go from a back office function who is there to help and enable business users be more productive in their daily jobs. In a very short period of time, IT in many cases is an absolute strategic imperative for most companies. You will now find IT people on the board at the CEO level, talking to the business units and being at the forefront of helping companies redefine what they want to be the next 20 years. We have over 6,000 customers across 70 countries. Many of them are household names that you'd recognize. We listen to them every single day, and they're telling us that we need to provide different solutions to them. They tell us that our workforce needs to transform. They tell us that gone are the days of generic skills. They need specialists who work well as a team, have digital skills, knowledge rich, understand data science, understand analytics, and can pull everything together to deliver these complicated, complex solutions. We are transforming our workforce as we speak, but there's only so much we can do ourselves. This is why we are for a site to build a digital transformation center. It'll be the single largest digital transformation center we've ever built. It'll be a blueprint, I believe, of how we transform DXC's workforce and how we embrace some of the new technologies. As mentioned, it was quite a competitive process to find the right place. I really want to thank the DXC team, who I think have just done a sterling job finding the right location. One of the key aspects and one of the differentiators of our digital transformation centers will be that we will bring in graduate level employees as well as skilled professionals from outside. But we'll bring them in with skills already tuned to serve us. But more importantly, if you may have noticed, IT professionals tend to be fairly smart, fairly demanding, fairly ambitious. You can't just have a stagnant work structure. Our digital transformation centers are designed to give rapid career path and development into even higher paid, higher value jobs, so we can attract the workforce and keep them close, keep them engaged in the DXC family. So in closure, we're extremely proud to be here. We're very proud to be also part of the 300-year anniversary. We're very excited what the next several months will bring. And I think we are both set up for success. And again, I just want to thank you for welcoming us. We couldn't be happier with our investment.
Just gets better and better. And I want to tell you that everything that we asked of the mayor, the opportunities that we needed to meet with this company, And at one point, we got shortlisted. In this business, that's a good thing. Because people like Dave Snyder out there are not site selection consultants. They're site eliminators. They cut you off the list. So I think we made the top 10, and then we made the top 6, and now here we are today. But I have to give a lot of credit to our mayor for helping with that heavy lift. Mayor Landry.
All right, everybody, how y'all doing? We kicked off the 300th anniversary for our great city on Saturday, and Governor, this is a great announcement because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a game changer for the city of New Orleans. You are witnessing a transformational moment in the history of the city of New Orleans, and so I want to, of course, thank the governor. I want to thank our legislators, our council members, all of our business leaders. Don, thank you for your team, Michael, Rebecca, all of the folks that had anything to do with bringing this together. As I have said to you many, many times, one team, one fight, one voice, one city. The way you win in America is through partnerships. And you're witnessing the success of one of the great partnerships that we've seen in this city for a long time. The governor has been a great partner to the city of New Orleans. This would not have happened without him. It likewise would not have happened without all of our teams. Not worrying about who gets credit, but going and chasing one of the biggest economic development announcements that the city of New Orleans has ever had the pleasure of being a part of for a lot of different reasons. So 8 years ago, when we began to rebuild this city after the catastrophic event of Katrina, the people of the city of New Orleans, along with our state partners and our federal partners, began to understand that we couldn't build the city back the way it was. We had to build the city back the way it should have always been. We had to hold on to the parts of our past that were important, and we had to start thinking about what the future looked like. And we had to rebuild the city in terms of what the future was going to expect of us. And that is a knowledge-based economy. And one of the reasons why we won this competition, we won a competition. This was not a gimme. There were 30 other states that were involved in wanting a piece of this business. Dave, correct? And when we started putting this city back together, we talked about rebuilding the schools so that we rebuild a knowledge-based economy. We rebuilt the healthcare delivery system. Last week, we talked about 3.2 miles of contiguous riverfront with 6 particular projects that are going to rebuild the riverfront with the Four Seasons. The University Medical Center, the VA hospital, the brand new airport. When they started looking around the country, they saw something in us that sometimes we don't see in ourselves, which is a city that's ascending, a city that has become this nation's most immediate laboratory for innovation and change. In the last 8 years, we have created 20,000 jobs, billions of dollars of private sector investment, and we began, along with all of the elected officials and all of the business leaders, to diversify our economy. We're very proud of culture, of art, of tourism, of history and music, but we're also proud of the port. We're also proud of the maritime industry. We're also proud of the oil and gas industry, but the future is in knowledge. The future is in a knowledge-based economy, and now you have a digital transformation team, second to none, a Fortune 250 company. You used to hear in Fortune 500 company. Well, a Fortune 250 company is bigger than a Fortune 500 company for those of you guys that are counting. And these guys you might know because you'd recognize Hewlett-Packard, are a new company that has come from the merger of 2 of the best IT companies in the world that have now chosen your city and your state above 30 other states in the United States of America because they know that we have what it takes to give them a pipeline of individuals who not only be employed, but actually take it to a net level. And that's why you have the university professors here, you have Delgado here, you have all of the workforce institutions here, because that is going to be the biggest challenge that we have. But for those of you that may recall, when GE started to think about coming here, everybody said that we couldn't provide a pipeline for workforce, but GE came. They brought over 100 jobs. They paid more than $100,000 right down the street. And ladies and gentlemen, when people told us, Mayor, can you bring us jobs, good jobs that pay good wages? Today, the answer has come. Yes, we're capable of doing that. 2,000 jobs, an average salary of $60,000 plus. That's going to blow off another 2,275 jobs. And I'm going to tell you, it's just the beginning. Because once you plant that flag, And once that virtuous cycle of success starts with what's going on with medical technology and now in IT and all the work we're doing at the river, there is no way that the city of New Orleans is ever going to turn around again, and we will become that city that we always dreamed we could be. So let me just, again, the governor said it best. It's all about partnership. It's all about teamwork. It's all about everybody taking responsibility and opportunity and continuing to believe in ourselves that the city, that is the most immediate laboratory for innovation and change in the entire United States of America. I would put our team up against everybody, and today is proof positive. So thank you guys, God bless you, and look forward to the future.
We got a lot of other great speakers here. Didn't want to go till 9 o'clock tonight, so we're not going to be able to hear from all of them. But certainly to all our presidents of our university systems, LSU, and our community college technical school system, they played a magnificent role in making today possible and have come here specifically to demonstrate their support for the project, and hope they get a chance to visit with the media after this event. The governor and I just experienced Veterans Day, and thank you all here that have served. He and I have served, and it certainly shapes a part of the way that we see the world. And so one of the things that we do in Baton Rouge is try to give the resources out to 64 parishes so that in each region of our state, it's not one size fits all, different projects, different locales. We have here Mr. Michael Hecht leading GNO Inc., who is an incredible partner for LED and certainly owns a big piece of today's success. Michael?
Great. Secretary, thank you so much. And thank you, Governor and Mayor and Stephen and everybody here today. It's a beautiful day in Greater New Orleans. How about this? You know, the formal process to bring DXC here started, as you heard, about 18 months ago. But the real effort to bring them to Greater New Orleans actually started about 10 years ago, and that was actually over 10 years ago. That was back in 2005 when, before my time, GNO Inc. actually wrote the digital media tax credit to start catalyzing this industry. And then we leveraged this effort. We went into place-based development by launching in 2008 the IP building in partnership with Idea Village. We also began to work on attracting technology conferences to New Orleans, and in partnership with the state, began to market New Orleans globally as a low-cost, high-culture alternative to places like San Francisco and New York. Now, at first, and Mary, you alluded to this, people were skeptical. In fact, an early conference that we brought here, some of y'all might remember, was called SIGGRAPH. It was a graphics conference, and they advertised the conference as saying, SIGGRAPH, totally digital, New Orleans, totally analog. Yeah, that was true. That was a joke. You can laugh at that, but it was true. It was on the postcard. And they thought that it was ironic that they were actually holding a software conference here in New Orleans, but slowly we began to succeed. GameLoft, who was the world's #2 developer of mobile games, expanded to New Orleans from New York City. As was said, GE Digital chose us over 47 other cities for its technology center. We attracted companies from California and Chicago and around the country. And at the same time, and we cannot forget this, dozens of established local companies and startups began to flourish. Then we lured Collision, the fastest growing tech conference in the country, here from Las Vegas. And as a result of this sustained broad effort over a decade, this past year, before DXC, our market was named the #1 in the country for fastest growth in technology jobs. So when people ask, how did you get DXC technology? I can give them the simple answers, and Stephen and others mentioned them. Our competitive cost structure, our highly responsive universities, our uniquely attractive culture for workers, and also, very importantly, this New Orleans narrative of rebirth and reinvention that's so synergistic with the narrative of DXC. Totally fit. But the underlying factor is that we executed our strategy over many, many years, and our historic win today, the single largest economic development jobs announcement in state, region, and city history, was the result of a diversification strategy originated at the state, carried through by the region, and then executed by the city over many, many years. Strategy plus perseverance wins. Now, of course, I'm leaving out the most important factor, and again, this was mentioned, it's not cost, although that's important. It's not culture, although that's a blessing. It's cooperation. This is not just a feel-good line. In fact, and we need to remember this, and sometimes I think we forget it. The fact is, and the mayor said this, there is nowhere in the country that can match us now for our unanimity of purpose, our coordination, our ability to get things done together. And that is a huge competitive advantage. The team that worked on this project included the governor's office, Louisiana Economic Development, the mayor's office, of course, GNO Inc., NOLA BA, the Industrial Development Board, all of the major 2- and 4-year universities in the region, Entergy, the Saints, the Pelicans, business leaders, hospitality leaders, nonprofit leaders, local EDOs, and I probably just left a lot of people out of that list. All of this supported by the work of our legislature over many years to create the conditions where this is possible. And all of them work together with an unrivaled level of teamwork and cooperation because they know each other, they like each other, and they trust each other. That's our real competitive advantage. We should never, ever forget it. So on this historic day, let me conclude by describing why DXC technology is so important to here to Greater New Orleans. Oh, and by the way, this company, when it's listed again, I believe, Stephen, will be the 110th largest company in the world. Give or take $1 billion. Extraordinary. So here's why it's important. The first is jobs. Greater New Orleans needs professional jobs, and DXC brings it to us in the thousands. The second is diversification. DXC technology is a game-changing step in terms of diversifying our economy, which will provide more opportunity for our citizens and make our economy more resilient going forward. And the third one is validation. One of the largest technology companies in the world choosing New Orleans emphatically validates the city and the region and the state as a place for business and a place for tech. And internally, it validates to the people of Greater New Orleans and Louisiana that we are indeed world class. So in closing, yeah, we can. In closing, let me say to Louisiana, and a special shout out to project manager Paige Carter for her work on this, the region, New Orleans, everybody, thank you for your partnership and commitment that's made this possible. And to Stephen, Elcio, Sue, Rob, Judy, Terrell, and the digital Yenta, Dave Snyder, and the entire DXC technology team, let me express my profound gratitude for your partnership and trust, and let you know that following our 18-month warm-up, the real work begins today. We will be by your side day and night, ensuring that DXC Technologies New Orleans Digital Transformation Center will be as transformative a success for DXC as it will be for New Orleans, Greater New Orleans, and the state. Thank you so much.
Well, we're closing, but we're closing at the beginning. Now the work begins to establish and prove that we deliver all the elements that we've pledged that we will deliver. A big part of that pledge is also made possible by our legislators. We appreciate you. You play a critical role in our success, not just at the state level, the elected officials, but the parish, the city. It's an entire team that goes into the support of this endeavor. We don't lose sight of that. We look forward to working with each of you in your districts. I hope you found the department responsive in that way. I insist upon it. We're going to move aggressively to support this project, but we're going to move aggressively across the entire state to continue to build a vibrant economy in Louisiana. Thank you for your time and attention today.